The circus continues at West Ham. Just when you think the joke can't get any funnier, Sullivan finds a way. We're going to be talking about West Ham apparently going for another keeper. The keeper we left at the altar, John Victor. And to discuss that, I've got Brian back on. And a handsome stranger has wandered into set.
Blast from the past.
You blast from the past. Graham is back for this one. Mate,
great to be back.
Great to have you back, mate. Great to have you back again. So yeah, bring you up to speed. You may remember we was in for 2 keepers or 3. So there was Suzuki, there was Hermansen, who we ended up signing, and there was John Victor. Now we heard John Victor was the one that Sullivan was pushing for. He was cheaper, Brazilian. Hermansen was the keeper that Potter really wanted. Potter won out. They'd left John Victor apparently waiting at the airport to get the all clear, come over, and they've gone, nah, we're going with this one. As we thought Hermansen was off. Got Hermansen in for like 20 mil with add-ons all included, 17 mil. And now, Hermansen, I don't know if you saw the performances, great.
Yeah.
But
11 shots on target, 8 goals conceded.
Exactly. Yeah. Now, after that, they've gone, maybe go back for John Victor. And mate, what a shambles.
Mate, it's just, do you know what, it's as if we weren't enough of a laughing stock already. This just sort of compounds it really, doesn't it? It's embarrassing. It is. Well, if there was another word I could invent that was stronger than embarrassing, that I would. But it's honestly, mate, it just when you think this club can't become any more of a circus.
Yeah.
And
Zippos comes to town.
The ringmaster.
Circus is the right word. We have become the media circus with not only with our own fans, but every fan base within the Premier League. I think with this one, my point of view is this: either this was always the plan, or there's a situation where Hermansen, they think, you know what, this guy is terrible. The other thing is as well, Areola probably wants out. He's kind of looking at this and saying, look, I don't want to be playing second fiddle.
Yeah.
And if they've got something lined up for him, then there's a situation where they needed to act fast. John Victor was obviously very keen to come to the club. So therefore, they probably said, you know what, let's go back and explore that option.
But if you're John Victor now, and you go, West Ham, my attitude would be, no, bollocks.
Well, the thing is, not just that, it's Botafogo as well, who we messed around. We turned the players head. Their fans were booing John Victor in his last performance.
Yeah.
And they thought they was getting a sale. All of a sudden, no, it's off someone else. Now we're going back, oh, by the way, we don't want to buy him off you. We want to loan him. Can we loan him?
If we did that, if he's already getting flack off his own fans, there's no way on earth that he could come to us for a season and go back there and be welcomed with open arms. They're already booing him now.
Can I just say, this is another argument I've won over Nicky, because we had that row, and he was like, nah, this is shrewd business opportunity. This is, I'm happy we done this. And I was like, you don't treat people like that. It's your reputation procedure, and one day you might want something off that club. Lo and behold, just over a week, 2 weeks later, we want something off that club, and it's that same player, but on loan, please.
The thing is as well, right? So look, if this situation is true and it's got legs on it, what I would like to know is what is the negotiations that have been held or going to be held with John Victor? Are they going in there saying, you know what, we want you to be the number one, or is the play that he's going to be coming in to play second fiddle? Because that, if we're looking at the situation at the moment, is a little bit.
Do they know though who the number one is? Because Hermansen's dropped 2 horrendous performances.
Yeah.
Areola, listen, he obviously conceded 3 goals. I don't think all 3 are his fault, but you know, for whatever reason, Potter don't fancy him, right? He don't play out from the back. So John Victor comes in. I don't think they know who's going to be number one. Everything's in the air.
Again, it's, going into the season, you as a manager, you should know who your number one is. Who it's going to be for the season.
Well, I think he thought it was Hermansen because he's good with his feet and he plays out from the back. But guess what? He can't save a goal. He's crap on set pieces, crap in the air.
I mean, there's
But he can pass. He distribute well.
I'm always like this when they go, like when teams go down, they go, other clubs come in and they'll cherry pick their players, and I'm like, but they went down.
Yeah.
They went down for a reason, because they weren't good enough.
Yeah. I thought exactly the same thing. I remember, Dan, when we done the whole goalkeeper video, right? And looking at who our options would be. He wasn't my option. Listen, credit where credit's due. He is a good goalkeeper, but he's come into a side, lacks confidence. We've got no leader within the team, and if you've got no one in front of you, particularly your centre backs who are commanding, loud, dominating, if you're coming into that, and let's not forget the fact of the matter that is he's come into a side. He played one pre-season game, right, and then he's just been thrown into our team, which is a car crash at the moment. So I'm to be honest with you, I'm not surprised that he's had a few howlers. I just didn't expect it to be how it's been.
Yeah, this is it. But look, if Areola's being moved on, it was quite late in the window. Obviously, he's a very high earner. I think Sullivan is trying to clear a lot of money off the wage books. I think he's trying to really pare down our expenses for a reason. Could be a sale, who knows? And Areola obviously is on $100,000 a week as a goalkeeper, but it's late out. We're not going to get good value for him at this rate.
The thing is, nowadays, that is what top, a lot of top flight footballers are on, sort of that 80 to 100 grand, and the the exceptional players are on.
Hermansen's sort of fraction of that.
Yeah. But it's like with Areola, everyone has a bad game. Everyone has a bad game. Like, there's one bad game, you get dropped. So if it was like 2 or 3 or 4 games, then maybe say, but I think you have to give, after one game, you have to give, personally, I believe, people will disagree, I think you've got to give them the opportunity to play out of that little bad spell.
He didn't deserve to be dropped,
then you drop them. But don't not like one bad game and then drop them. You've got to give the players the opportunity to...
Yeah, I mean, the only thing I would say with that, unless it was always the plan, if it was always the plan that Potter wanted the goalkeeper and he didn't see Areola as someone that was going to be in his thoughts, then I understand it. Again, as well, with Hermansen coming in and that debate of whether he should have come in straight away or not, I kind of probably went against the grain and thought, well, you know what, if that's going to be the goalkeeper going forward, then yes. I've since changed that view once I established the facts, with the facts being he's played one pre-season game and we haven't been great, so my mind has changed on that.
It's framing against a team like Chelsea as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You know what I mean?
Well, he had the he had the Sunderland game before that though, which he was horrendous in.
Terrible.
The Sunderland.
And then Chelsea, but Chelsea sets me have your second game. Only it was just a little bit too much. The thing is, we forget Areola last season, the heroics he pulled off, right, against some of these big teams at home, he won us games. He won us points through his... So, he had a bit of a howler in pre-season, but it's pre-season.
That's what pre-season's for. You iron out the kinks.
Yeah, I thought it was incredibly harsh, and it looks bad on Potter because this is his guy. This is our record goalkeeper signing, and he's come in and he's just having an absolute mare. I can't point out a single thing where I was like, that's a great save, or this is something good he did. Every time the ball comes his way, he flapped.
The thing is, I hope he wears the West Ham shirt. If he's playing well,
of course,
then hopefully we're doing well. So I never want a player to play poorly. I want. You're rooting for him. You want them to do. I want them to come out of this little bad patch. 100%. Like I say, give them the opportunity to play out of it. But then they say, was Areola dropped too soon?
I just feel like prioritising this playing out from the back. I know it's all popular now, and it's the goal. I'm sorry, as a goalkeeper, your first thing should be stop goals. You know what I mean? You need to be commanding. And that was always the thing people say, Areola don't command his box. Hermansen definitely don't. So the idea that a goalkeeper, like your main thing you're looking for is that they're a ball-playing goalkeeper.
But the thing is, how many goalkeepers nowadays, like if you really have to think about how many goalkeepers at any club can you, like in the top flight, you say they dominate their area?
Yeah, this is the thing. It's the way the game's gone now. It's become a different kind of, we were talking about it earlier, in terms of the way teams are set up is very much chess, and it's a statistical thing where, managers are happy to kind of have the percentages and sacrifice maybe their keeper making one big mistake in the game over retaining possession and not having turnovers. It's become a bit like that now. One of the things I've been concerned of lately, and it does involve the goalkeeper situation, is that we've been a team that's been easy to play against in terms of if the ball's been played over the top of our back three or back five, how you look at it, teams are getting in. Now we've become a team that people are just whipping in crosses because, again, you've got centre halves that are not challenging for the ball or unable to win headers, and now you've got a goalkeeper or goalkeepers that are not commanding their box and then flapping at it. So that for me, if you look at the Wolves game, they were just murdering the crosses. See what I mean? Because that became
that's been pinpointed as a weakness, isn't it? Yeah. See, I miss the days when the keeper just used to come and clean everyone out.
Exactly.
There's just a pile of bodies on the floor after the keepers.
That's the thing, isn't it? And it just going back to Sullivan, like I said, the way he's conducts himself this window, I mean, his whole time, it's just standard for him.
We say this window is every window.
Every window, but that's what I mean. We had the thing where, you know, that him and God rest his soul, got called the Dildo Brothers by, was it Sporting? Owners, and like our reputation in Europe is just bad.
I'm sure there's teams out there that wouldn't, you know, if they are West Amateurs, they wouldn't want to pick the phone up.
Or
answer the email or whatever because like you say, the reputation precedes us.
This is it, and you know, he's reported as being our director of football, David Sullivan, and that's how bad things are. That he's our director of football. So look, all we can hope is that all this paring down the squad and reducing is going to lead to a sale, because we ain't going to go anywhere under him.
If he's we're drawing down on the squad, he said that we already had a fairly small squad. It's getting even smaller. It's only going to end in one way that I can see. It's relegation. Well, and then that becomes a less palatable sale.
There has to be a point.
If that was the case.
Well, this is it. Obviously, he's looking at it going, okay, our wage bill is low, so when he's trying to sell the club, there's not many expenses. But if you get relegated, well, then that's a massive chunk off. So
you lose the Sky revenue.
You
know, any big, like if you had any big sponsorship deals, you're not going to have like all these big, you know, multi-million companies wanting to sponsor a team who aren't on Sky week in, week out, and
do you know what? But the sell concept it makes sense. Something feels different this time around. With regards to like the transfer dealings pre-season, something this time just feels really, really different. And there's a lot of smoke and mirrors going on. There's a lot of contradictory talk about Potter being in control of transfers, then sort of not being trusted because his plan's not coming through, and now Sullivan's coming in. All of that, I'm just finding it hard what to believe nowadays. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. You're right, it does feel different.
I always think the truth's probably somewhere in the middle of
usually is, mate. But I just have to say is whatever happens, look, we've got, what is it now, a few days now, was it 4 days? 4 or 5 days to go and get some players in to save our season, because this squad is nowhere near good enough. They haven't got the legs, they haven't got the pace.
And then it's just going to be more like panic loan signings or buyers like we've seen many times.
We've got some youngsters in there, right? If this what we've got, there's some young players that are exciting, right? That raw, yes, you got Fearon. We never saw him. He looks exciting. Freddie Potts. We got that young Mo Kante, right? He looks, I haven't seen any of him great, but he looks like the physical powerhouse that we need in midfield, right? And they're young players, so they've got things to learn, but they're going to give us that energy that we need, because I'd rather that than play Souček, Rodriguez, Ward-Prowse midfield.
But as I say, as was said in now, you know, it's got to be the right time to bring young players in, because if you bring them in and they get absolutely hammered, it's going to affect their confidence. At that age, it can affect your confidence.
Mate, if we're in a firefight and the current players aren't doing it,
the thing is,
we've got a choice do we have?
Look at when Allardyce, he went, I'll put all the youngsters in. We got hammered 5-0 at Forest.
Yeah, but that was a different. He done that to prove a point.
I know he done it to prove a point, but he could have set those players back, like mentally.
Yeah.
You know, like.
But what I'm saying is, what I'm saying,
in terms of the mental aspect of the game, that could have set them back.
Yeah, but
a lot. You know?
What I'm saying is, if we have no choice by the fact of, well, these players I'm not saying we play a whole team of youngsters.
No.
But what I'm saying is, we're playing this midfield, and everyone can see that's the weakness, right? Then try.
But would you think it might be bringing the youngsters, if you had a strong midfield to build around them, but what you're sort of implying is for them to come in and be the difference. That's a lot to put on a young player's shoulders.
It is. I'm not saying like you have a whole midfield of youngsters, right?
No,
you balance it.
I'm saying, if you might bring one in, but in a minute, our midfield as we've said,
Yeah.
you know, on post-match points, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Shocking at the minute, and you
Yeah.
want to bring a youngster into that and expect them to.
But
lift it up.
what else can we do?
Look,
Because
it's
what we're
sink
doing,
or
we've
swim,
got to
but
try.
you know, if they swim, brilliant.
Yeah, but
But if they sink,
that's-
that can affect that. How many players have we seen over the years? Like, we talk about Reece Oxford, wasn't it? You know, he had one good game and then he had a few bad ones, and then he was farmed out to the
But
lowest.
I
fine
just,
lines. It is
yeah,
fine
I
lines.
just think sometimes, Gray, you got to do what you
got.
Yeah,
be careful where you treat the young
we
players,
haven't.
right?
You know, I agree. We haven't got the luxury of being so. It's our Premier League survival's at stake.
Yeah.
I mean,
We are in that situation.
Yeah.
I mean, look when Tompkins, when he got thrown in deep end, right?
Yes.
First couple of games, he wasn't great, but he swam and he ended up being a great
Yeah.
player for us.
Yeah.
So it can work. I was just saying, he's obviously had the mental strength.
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
a bit-
I- listen, I
just think you've got to be a little bit careful
Yeah,
throwing him into what he's going to be. Let's be honest, it could be a relegation battle this
Listen,
season.
I agree with Graham wholeheartedly, and I think it's a situation where some of them, look, Potts definitely, I feel, would have got blooded probably a lot more had the results been different. But where I do take your point down is that it can't get any worse, and at a bare minimum, some of those guys should be making maybe substitute appearances just to gain
them around the
a
squad.
little bit of
Yeah.
experience
Yeah.
as they go along.
We're
Do you know
playing
what
the
I mean?
same players, bringing the same players off the bench week in, week out,
Yeah.
and we're seeing the same shit. So try something different. And the other thing that Dixie said in there that really stuck with me was about work rate. And that is the thing that I've been thinking about for the past few days, especially after I watched that Newcastle game against Liverpool. And the players for 90 minutes worked their asses off, right? Put in tackles. It's everything that I want to see. And there's been much talk about West Ham, we want to play like silky football, attacking football. Me, I want to see a team that works hard.
Yeah.
Like we saw again at the Emirates last season. Work
You know what?
fucking
I
hard.
want a team where other teams go, I'm not playing against
Yeah.
them. Even if they
Yeah.
beat us, they're in a game.
On a consistent basis, what we tend to do is roll out those performances for the big games. Would you be surprised if, like, we put in a massive performance against Spurs at home?
No.
Maybe not win the game, but put in a performance.
Like, give
that
them a game.
We all cry and say, like, well, where has that been? Do you know what I mean? So yeah.
It makes me so angry because these players, right, get paid more than the players back in the day that worked their bollocks off against fucking Barnsley.
Yeah.
Right? But they can't turn up. But you go Burnley, and it's like, well, it's only Burnley, and it would do whatever. And that's a shit mentality.
Yeah.
That's why these players will never go to the top and never win the big trophies because you've got a shit mentality. You turn up no matter what team and you play to win, and they just play to, we'll just coast, mate. And I'm so tired of that, and that's why I'm so disconnected watching West Ham because I've seen it too often. Just a bunch of lazy players watching the game pass and play.
100%. And the fear for me now is, well, there's two things. One, there's the accountability side of it. I don't feel, as an individual, as the whole squad, are taking like accountability for the 11 players on the pitch. The second thing is fear has definitely crept in. If you look at the most recent performances, heads drop as soon as the opposition do something, mate, they score, whatever. Like, we can't hold a lead for love nor money. But as soon as something goes against us, players' heads drop. So fear's crept in, and then when that happens, it just goes one way. Do you know what I mean? So it's not good.
Yeah, 100%. Well, listen, let's hope we get what we need in. And I've said this before, I don't have any faith in Sullivan, but there's always a hope that he can stumble onto something that happens to just work. And whatever, and like you said, Greg, we get those freebies or loans, somehow they just hit the ground running and are successful. There's that chance.
Even a broken clock's right twice a day.
Yeah, let's hope this is the second time a day.
Do you know what I mean?
And it's right. Yeah, so spot on, great. So let's see. We're going to keep on top of the transfer window, see what comes up, and hopefully we'll see more Graham and Brian in the future. Yeah. But it's an absolute pleasure, lads. Listen, Brian pointed out that there was one other video where the three of us was a combination of PMP 2 years ago. So the reunion is it's been a good one, lads.
Just wish it was better circumstances.
Yeah, that's it. So yeah, we'll wrap this up because it's raining now. My camera is definitely going to get broken. So thank you all for watching. One thing left to say.
Come on, you Iron.